Okay, Pops. You know what's soaring right now?
Birthday wishes for Zach?
Birthday wishes!
Even Sophie wants to wish you a happy birthday.
F&I profits
Yes.
are increasing at rates that, I don't know, seem astronomical to me. We have Miss Kimberly Klein with us as well
Yes.
to discuss this today. You guys saw the Automotive News article, didn't you?
Yes.
Since I subscribe to it, absolutely.
I'm
yes.
fairly
Yes.
certain you're the one who sent it to
Yeah, I
me.
was going to say, I thought I sent you that link.
So Kimberly, Pops, here's what I was thinking we would do.
Yes.
Let's run through the data. They actually broke out in the automotive news article 2 different categories that I thought were interesting. The $100 million club, which
Yeah.
are dealership groups that did over $100 million in F&I revenue last year in 2020. And then the top 15 F&I performers, which would be the average F&I revenue per new and used vehicle that gets retailed at the dealership.
You know what they could have done to shorten the list? They just could have done $1 billion club, and we could all just have gone, my God, AutoNation must be ripping people off.
So, Kimberly, let's actually start with the top 15 F&I performers because I want your perspective here. Obviously, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know my dad spent a long time in the industry on the sales side, 40 years, but never as an F&I manager. Maybe like one day as an F&I manager.
I think you're shortchanging me. I
2
believe
days.
I believe it was a little under a month.
Okay, under a month as an F&I manager. Kimberly, you spent well over a decade as an F&I manager, 15 years. And so
I did.
I'm going to read out the data. I want your reaction.
Okay.
The number
hear it.
15 in terms of performer was
Yes.
McCombs Automotive, and
Yes.
they averaged that's a bad way to phrase it, $2,343 in F&I revenue per new and used vehicle sold. What's your immediate reaction to that? That's the end of the list.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was thinking, and that's the end of the list. So, wow.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah, it probably explains why when Red McCombs was alive, he could have afforded to buy the Minnesota Vikings and other sports teams, because when you're making that much money per car, just in the back end, oh my God.
When you
And
were in the
by the
dealership,
way, that's PVR, per vehicle retail. So per retail unit, taking out wholesale and employee deals, that's PVR, per vehicle retail. That's huge.
Yes.
2,300, that's ginormous, yeah. And
When you-
I just can't even believe it.
when you were in the F&I office, I was about to say when you were in the box, because that's sometimes what it's referred to. When you were in the F&I
That is what it's
office,
referred to. Yeah.
what
Yeah.
were good PVRs? Like, what was a good month? Was it $1,000? Was it $500? What was it?
Well, let's go back to the year 2004. You know, back then, as I said before, it was about $800, $900 was top pay plan. Through the years, over the years, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And what I mean is the goals got bigger. Your pay plan changed probably every 6 months to a year. And so as they would go to NADA conferences and they would see the rest of the nation's PVRs rising and rising and rising, so did our goals and so did our pay plans. So, you know, when I left, we were probably doing 1,500, 12 to 15 was really good, and that would put you at the top of your pay plan. It also depends upon your region as well, small town versus inner city, or like
Sure.
what we call the Beltway.
But
yeah,
12 to 15 is kind
was
of
pretty good.
interesting, because let's run through the rest of the numbers here, because I've got a follow-up question for both of you on this. You've got Keys Automotive, American Motors. You've got a whole list. We'll put them up on the screen all the way up to the top 5, which is where you break into the $3,000 of revenue
Yes.
on the sale of ancillary products associated with the purchase of the vehicle you actually came in to buy,
Yes.
where you're at Stalupi.
Yes, that's how you say it.
I'm
Very
obviously
good.
not part of the Stalupi family.
Yeah.
Still
Cavender,
Yeah.
Lindsay, which is I think local to where
Yeah, I think that's a
grew
Virginia
up.
dealer.
Yeah, Virginia, Maryland dealer
Yes.
group that averaged $3,263, and then Empire Automotive Group, Kimberly, $3,558 PVR.
Okay, so what I see here is a lot of used vehicles. And whenever you have used vehicles, it's easier to make reserve, first and foremost. Reserve is the spread from buy rate to sell rate that the bank pays the finance office. Secondly, whenever you're selling more and more used vehicles, you're also selling more and more products like vehicle service contracts, aka extended warranties, as well as gap coverage. So I have the feeling that the finance managers are also taking advantage of the opportunities that dealerships have today of marking these prices up astronomically. So it is in the front, so it is in the back.
And that's the point I wanted to talk about a little bit with both of you. We obviously, and if you've watched any videos on our channel or seen a live stream, we talk a heck of a lot about vehicle prices have gone up considerably. Reason being, there's a chip shortage.
Yes.
That's caused a shortage of supply for new vehicles, an increase in demand for used vehicles. It's pretty straightforward stuff. There hasn't been a change in supply of loans or finance ancillary products like extended warranties or gap insurance. So what is the justification?
There have been some changes, and realistically, some of the changes are some of the products that have been developed as potential profit centers in F&I that didn't exist 15 or 20 years ago. I mean, there are more products available today. 20 years ago, we didn't have anything as for key fob replacements. There wasn't anything for that. You know, back in the day when I started, there was life, accident and health. There were some extended warranties. There was a little bit of reserve. You know, dealers are making $300, $400, $500 a car in financing back then. And what has happened is that as time has gone on, outside insurers have come up with more products for the F&I people to sell. It's almost like what's that Apple Music device? The not the iPad. What was before the?
Don't tell them, Kimberly. Let's see what happens.
Come on,
here.
I don't know. It's a little thing, but what it did.
The iPod.
Okay, yeah, created digital music, and what it did is they developed something that people didn't have before and suddenly realized they needed to. And that's what these insurance products now are in the finance department.
I wouldn't use the word need, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, they've created a need. They've built a need. They've created a demand that didn't exist because there should be no demand.
Well, yeah, well, that's true. And sometimes a dealership has too many products. Too many products on the menu, and I think we'll discuss that down the line. But to what Ray is saying, yeah, you can have too many products. But one thing about that, though, is Ray, some of these products they've taken and they've put on the front, right? So you see them on the front now.
Yes.
Before you even get back to finance, you're seeing maybe a dent and ding package. Oh my God, there's so many different names. I've seen so many dealerships with these creative names of things, and you go, what the heck is that?
Yes.
You know? And you do a little Google search and you find out, oh, that's tinted windows that they've already put on. So I've seen this huge switch from back-end products going to the front end initially.
Yeah, you do see a lot of that. A lot more of that today.
And you got to take that all off just to get the OTD. Am I right?
Yes.
So, okay, I agree with you, Pops. I think you took it in a slightly different direction than I intended
apologize.
to. So I'm gonna
Bring
come
us back.
And the point I want to make
back.
is that we've had a justification for why prices have been what they've been and why gross profits have been as high as they've been. We recently did an AutoNation video about their Q2 profits, most money they've ever made on the sale of vehicles. The thing the point I'm trying to make is, of course, there's going to be product development. It's a capitalistic society. If we can develop products that people are going to buy, whether they need to or want to, or they just feel pressured to, companies are going to develop them. Point being, there is no crunch of supply of those products, and so the justification for us to see F&I revenues to increase as much as they have isn't because of the supply and demand. It's more because of savvy product development, or maybe more skillful F&I managers, or quite frankly more gullible consumers. I don't know. I don't want to say gullible, but I also want to be cognizant that a lot of people walk in there, end up buying these things, and don't necessarily understand what they purchase.
I would say, and hopefully Kimberly agrees with me, I don't know, but I would say a lot of it has to do with a better understanding of what F&I can produce, better training on how to sell all these products, because the insurance companies that come into the dealerships to get the F&I department to offer these products spends a ton of time, effort, and energy to teach F&I people how to overcome all the objections that they would normally get. So I think a lot of it has to do with training.
I have a big smile on my face. I want your reaction, Kimberly, of course, but I have a big smile on my face because everyone's going to comment down below, well, if they trained him better, then I wouldn't have to go in the office or blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, people go into this experience and they would contend with what you just said.
Well,
but
that's
anyway.
what we're trying to do. We're trying to train the consumer better for what to expect.
Yep.
Yeah, we certainly are. And here's something that I would like to say, and maybe others will not agree with me, but on new and newer cars, I know them best. And I can tell you that, first of all, you have to like the product. You may want it. It might fit your lifestyle. Most of these products are not bad products, you guys. They're not bad. You're just paying exorbitant amounts for these products. And so that's what I hope that we're able to show people is that, listen, this is not bad products. But listen, don't pay full sticker or over MSRP.
They're just overpriced for what.
They're just overpriced, way overpriced. So negotiate those prices. Yeah.
Let's toss it up on the screen. The $100 million club. So Automotive News went ahead and put together the 19 different dealership groups that grossed over $100 million in F&I revenue last year. Just remarkable. I mean, we don't necessarily need to comment too much about this. Sure, the more dealerships you have, the more revenue you're going to have. But it is pretty incredible that AutoNation broke $1 billion in F&I revenue when their nearest peer had a similar number of dealerships and had almost half the F&I revenue. So it really is.
If you put that up for one more second, the one that amazed me is a group that's local to where we used to live, the Coons Automotive, where they produced $171 million in F&I product
on 18
dealerships. That is a staggering sum of money.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
We have a video, I remember, tearing down a Coons Toyota OTD where I forget the poor gentleman's name and his occupation and whatnot, and he bought everything in the F&I office. You remember? You know which video I'm talking about?
Yes.
I'll have to try and find it for you, James, so we can reference it right now.
Over there.
Over there. Coons, that's incredible.
Yes.
That's truly remarkable.
Yeah. Well,
when you have a finance team that they have a process of training and all the finance managers are on the same page, they get a flow going, they get a process going, and they can stand to make a lot of money, as in billions.
Well, thanks, guys, for walking through this incredible article. Thanks for sending it to me, Pops. I got to go find that video now. And
sorry about that.
Appreciate the time, Kimberly. Thank you, Dad.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Yeah. Thank you.